Good evening, friends. This side Rahul Magan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. Standing today on 21st September 2019, practically 3:30 in the morning, we're going to be shooting a pretty important video about the recent BIS Bank for International Settlement Trial Survey, which happens after 3 years. Actually, they do it every year, but whatever they do every year, it's a pretty short form. It's not very detailed, but at the end of the third year they do a very detailed survey. Although I have lots of reservations with them, but at the end I thank you them. The kind of information they are providing, no one is providing, and that's a serious kudos to Bank for International Settlement, because they are doing a pretty nice job, I have to say. And in this master circular, actually this is must, according to me. All the MBA institutions should have that master circular ready, and they should be tested. They should be the part of the curriculum, and I'm damn sure that none of the IMs will ever had the time to teach their students that how this not master circular, how this trial survey look like. For me, it's one strategy consulting would be starting their own MBA programs. We're going to have our own. We're going to keep this trial survey very serious. So 2004 survey, 7, 10, 13, 16 and now 19. We're going to have all these surveys ready, and we're going to have a basic separate test or maybe a kind of curriculum on this survey, because the work which BIS doing on this survey is exemplary. Though I am having reservations with them on the computational part, that reservation on the functional part of it. But the work which they're doing is pretty nice, is amazing, and that's thank you to BIS. In this whole survey, they talked about one currency which is the most efficient currency of the globe, and that none other than the Indian rupee, And who manages Indian Bank? The world's best central bank. You know the name? Reserve Bank of India. And I got some statistics. My writing is very fast, because once you turn out to be the corporate treasurer, your writing turns out to be pretty fast actually. I got a lot of statistics which I took it from Bank for International Settlement. I also got statistics from this newspaper, wherein the committee which formed under Usha Tharot panel recommended the liberal currency trading and the full convertibility. First I would like to let Madam Usha Tharot knows that she really deserves a training program. And I love to give her training program free. That I assure. Because first of all, I'm now very strong supporter of the fact that the Reserve Bank of India capability in foreign exchange is zero. Z-E-R-O. And I'm ready to challenge Reserve Bank of India, if anyone from Reserve Bank of India is watching this pic, that if they think that they know anything in FX, then the whole Reserve Bank would be on the one side and I would be on the another side. See the kind of challenge. Whole would be on the one side, I would be another side, and if I win, if they win, I give them 50,000 Singapore dollar. And GST I will pay, don't worry. 50,000 Singapore dollar I pay, but if I win, then they will pay 50 million Singapore dollar. I think Usha Tharot along with all 8, although I already made a video that they just messed it up. They really need to learn in foreign exchange. They are those people, those who knew nothing in foreign exchange, literally. And how come they turn out to be the RBI panel? How come these people turn out to be the part of the key committees who report to the government? I really do not know. What is the selection criteria in that? The kind of messages, the kind of data you get, this suggests that people really do not know. I have told number of times to the people that non-deliverable is not all about non-deliverable forward. Like Singapore. Singapore is not a currency hub. Singapore is an insurance hub. It's a marine hub. It's a reinsurance hub. It's a FinTech hub. It's a RegTech hub and what not. Though I have 20 reservations with Singapore, but Singapore is not the currency hub. It is much wider than that. So Singapore should not be termed as a currency hub. Similarly, non-deliverable is not all about non-deliverable forwards. Rather, it is non-deliverable forwards, non-deliverable options, non-deliverable swaps and what not. It's a complete buffet. But this committees and the people, I don't know how they get shortlisted, but they always give you this picture and they always put the dirt in the minds of the people. And this so-called person who do the certified financial analyst and FRM, the Faltu risk management kind of degrees, they always do not know. The next 2 weeks we are heading to two big B schools in India. One is University of Delhi and one is IIM Indore, I think. We're being invited by IIM Indore to go and hire. I trust you, not a single person from IIM Indore would be able to answer my questions that I am giving in writing. In writing. We are offering a salary of 7,000 to 8,000 Singapore dollar per month to that person, but I give you in writing that they not been able to answer single question of mine. And they will feel that what is being taught at IIM Indore is a shit. But let's move forward. The Bank for International Settlement has given 5 countries data about the rupee trading, and I think that this is where I am having a deep reservations about Bank for International Settlement. And another reservation I have with Bank for International Settlement that they not clarified appropriately. They not clarified appropriately whether this figure is a complete non-deliverable or it includes another also, which is non-deliverable options and all different kind of instrument. Like I said, I am having a lot of reservations with Bank for International Settlement about the way of presentation, but the work they did is commendable. That we need to appreciate. But still, for a minute, assume that it's all about non-deliverable forward, which looks like once you read the BIS, I have 2 set of data with me. We're going to have separate data one by one. So let me take this data in my right hand first. So this data talks about, this is from Bank for International Settlement data. I have computed it manually. It gave me the figure of 5 countries and this was reported in the Bloomberg also, but not the way I always wanted. It gives about UK, India, Singapore, Hong Kong and US. I repeat, it's talk about UK, India, Singapore, Hong Kong and US, United States. In the total INR trading happened in these 5 is 66.1 billion US dollars. Your flat note 66 billion. Total INR trading happened in dollar terms is 66.1 billion, while in 2019, because it's a triennial survey, in 2019 that increased to 127 billion, which is the total relative means the total, sorry my mistake, the total absolute difference of 61 billion approximately. I'm giving approx figures. So there is an approx increase in the 61 billion in the rupee trading in the last 3 years. Offshore trading. Onshore nahi, offshore trading. But Reserve Bank of India is sleeping that you are the central banker, you are getting salary from the taxpayer money, but the 66.1 billion dollar is being the total rupee trading happened and you do not know. The total relative part is 60.8 billion, which is 61 billion, but you're sleeping because you are not accountable and nobody questioned you. And in these conferences, you always invite people from HDFC and mutual funds that dare to counter you because they know their job is at stake. Simple mathematics, boss, their job is at stake. But nonetheless, let's move further. In this, if you look carefully, that UK, which tantamount to 8.8 billion in 2016, grew to 46.8 billion. And which I say the absolute is 38 billion increase, while it is 4.32 times. So in the last 3 years, the UK got the maximum amount of rupee trading to 4.32 times. And the wake up call is go to Singapore also. When Singapore increase is just 0.148 on a flat note 0.15 times. I have a deep reservation from Monetary Authority of Singapore because they are losing credentials pretty fast. The kind of invitations they circulated this time in the FinTech Festival is raising an eyebrow to me. Most of the people, few people should not be a part of Fintech Festival speaking panel but invited. It's absolutely shit. But what we can do? Singapore got an increase of 0.15 times, while Hong Kong got an increase of 1.25 times. 1.25 times. Alternatively speaking, media always give the negative picture of many people. People giving a lot of negative picture of the Brexit. I'm not saying that Brexit is a good thing, but at the end of the day, we need to appreciate one thing very clearly, that UK got 4.32 times increase in the rupee trading offshore, right? And while Singapore, which used to considered as a hub for rupee trading, is now merely flat. In 2016 it was 16.2 billion, while in 2019 it is 18.6, which means an increase of 2.4 billion on a times note, 0.15 on a flat note. While Hong Kong did pretty well with an increase of 7 billion, and which is 1.25 times. It's a wake up call, and in the first part of the video we have already said there are multiple wake up calls from Monetary Authority of Singapore. They need to act very fast if they are serious. If they are serious to take the things forward. Else, thank you. I got another data. This is data 1. I got another data. In this data, the great Reserve Bank of India. So this data is by RBI Task Force report on offshore rupee market. Task Force. You know, it looks like that once they create the name Task Force, actually it's something used for army, you know, Task Force. But anyways, now this great Task Force is saying that we have daily turnover. Now let me read for you. NDF market, NDF in the 6 currencies account for 2/3 of the total globally. Wait, NDF in the 6 currencies account for 2/3 of the trade globally. Okay, here they have mentioned $200 billion average volume in the NDF market. Okay, do you know that there are 24 non-deliverable currencies we have worldwide? 24 non-deliverable currencies. I have never said non-deliverable forward currencies worldwide. These non-deliverable currencies can have forwards, options, swaps, FRA, OIS and whatnot, CCIRS and whatnot. I absolutely doubt on the credibility of the Bank for International Settlement if they are saying that the total volume, daily volume of NDF is $200 billion. NDF is a pretty small pie, but nonetheless, in this, if you carefully look that Indian rupee, which comes here, Indian rupee on a 2013 survey was 17.2 billion daily, and in 16 it is 16.4, and in 2018 it increased to 23.03 billion. So I repeat, it's 17.2, 16.4 and 23.3. While for the Chinese yuan, for which media always ready to paint the negative picture of Chinese yuan, in 2013 it is 17.1, in 2016 it is 10.4, while in 2018 it is 8.8. I will not talk about Brazilian real, Russian ruble and Taiwanese dinar because I know that this article is not complete because there are 24 non-deliverable currencies, and Madam Usha Tharot seriously need FX training, and Treasury Consulting will provide them free. That my assurance. What is the law? What is the moral of the story? Moral of the story is we have an institution whose name is Reserve Bank of India. We have an institution who is getting funded from the taxpayer money. We have the institution where taxpayer money is wasted every month in terms of providing salaries, cabs, perks and everything. We are having an institution who really do not know that the right definition of the non-convertibility do not link with the non-deliverable forward, rather it has multiple facets. In English, the meaning of the facet means the multiple parts actually. we have an institution whereby one of the committee member is giving the thoughts which force you to think that the FX knowledge of the people is zero. And we have an institution whereby a country who is reeling under Brexit got a 4.3 times increase in the rupee trading, which is actually your currency, in the last 3 years. But at the end of the day, I assure you one thing, since the country do not have a system of accountability, and also the remuneration of the people are not linked with the results, this incident will continue to happen. I'm damn sure in 2016, although I have a reservation that these are not the only treasury centers of the globe, but still for a while, the total is 66 billion in 2016. In 2019, that amount to 127 billion. So the total, the absolute difference is 61 billion. I'm sure in 2022, when this information come once again from BI side, this would be closer to $200 billion. But please don't worry, media is busy in the next 2 months about the tax cuts. Media is busy in the 2 months about the Rafale, and there are hell lot of issues which media they have to do. For media, such analytical information and such fake information, they have no time to evaluate this because they are busy in a propaganda to make sure that the realistic thing never comes in public domain. With this, we thank you very much, and you know my mobile number +91 9899242978. You know our fixed income platform www.fixedincome.global. Have a great time, and don't forget to subscribe our TikTok channel. We're going to be shooting a lot of videos about TikTok as well. Have a great time.